There is a convenience in the current day for everyone. The majority of us could still buy soap and shampoo even at the lowest wage levels since we have dependable heating and indoor plumbing. This wasn't the case in earlier times, though. The lowest classes used to take baths quite seldom during the Middle Ages. The 19th century, which was dominated by the need for progress despite the terrible poverty that entangled many families, continued to experience many of the dark aspects of the Dark Ages. Many nations did not yet have public schools, rules requiring all children to attend school, or standards for the necessities of a basic home in the 1800s. Even while many upper-class residences had indoor plumbing by the time Queen Victoria passed away in 1901, they still had a very different perspective on hygiene than we do now. Here are hygiene practices in the Victorian era. 1. Using the bathroom. Women of the day frequently wore skirts and hoops or bustles. How did they utilize the restroom then? In comparison to modern undergarments, their pantaloons or knickers were more like pants. These loose-fitting underwear had split crotches, allowing ladies to hover over the bowl without completely undressing, which would have taken too long. By the 1880s, some wealthy families had indoor plumbing, but many did not, necessitating treks to the privy or outhouse whenever nature called. The toilet paper roll wasn't created until 1891, although the first toilet paper squares were sold in the 1870s, with chemicals added to keep the bathroom from smelling too awful. What then did people use before that period to clean themselves? Old newspapers or corncobs appear to be what many people used, provided, of course, that they had access to these materials at all. The answer might hurt a little. 2. Taking a bath. Everyone bathed to stay clean because showers were not yet popular. When it was time for a thorough cleaning, poorer households would boil water on the stove and then pour it, along with cool water, to a wooden or metal tub, typically in the kitchen. However, the majority of people used a basin and a pitcher of chilly water to bathe in much lesser amounts in their bedrooms. The crucial areas were the hands, face, armpits, and groin, and they didn't need to be completely submerged to be kept at least somewhat clean. In addition to having excellent porcelain bathtubs with nearby hot and cold water faucets, nicer homes sometimes even possessed the luxury of all luxury, a piped foot bath. These luxuries acted as miniature bathtubs for your feet. 3. Washing the hair. In the Victorian era, women's hairstyles were very intricate, and it is unlikely that they began the entire washing, drying, and styling process before it was actually time for a proper wash. Women's hair was seen as their crowning beauty at the time, therefore the longer and healthier it was, the better. It would only falter when she was with her husband alone, remaining pin-sharp the rest of the time. Women did not wash their hair as frequently as we do today to maintain its health, only doing it on a weekly or monthly basis. Towards the end of the Victorian era, some books on cleanliness and beauty advised that persons with oily hair should wash it approximately every 2 weeks and those with normal hair should wash it once a month. Yet some sources advised shampooing the hair and scalp just once or twice a week. Before shampoo became popular, individuals would simply use soap, which frequently left their hair and scalp extremely dry. To clean the hair, undiluted ammonia was occasionally used. Is it any wonder, then, that oily pomades were so widely utilized in this time period? 3. Personal odor. Before lotions and deodorants became widely used, people had very few options for masking the smell of BO or soiled clothing. Women with plenty of money could purchase perfume or cologne, but buying scented powder was less expensive. This was really effective at absorbing moisture. The most popular scent for males was bay rum, which has a distinctive aroma that most modern people have never experienced, though they do still make it. The spice and perfume-infused rum was created by sailors in the 1500s specifically to cover up bodily stench. The only other way to prevent a stale scent for those who couldn't afford these extras was to maintain cleanliness. While women never washed their outerwear, they did use dress shields to protect their clothing from sweat dripping from their underarms. Dresses and coats were brushed clean, only undergarments were immersed in water. 4. Oral care. In the 1800s, dentistry was not particularly advanced, and the majority of what a dentist could do was extract teeth that were decayed. People did clean their teeth, occasionally with nothing more than salt applied to a finger and rubbed across the teeth, and occasionally perhaps with a twig that had been broken. Although the modern toothbrush was created in 1857, it wasn't until the nylon bristle toothbrushes of the 1930s that toothbrushing became increasingly popular, especially when GIs returning from Europe in the 1940s carried the European practice of brushing teeth every day with them. Don't forget to like and to subscribe to this channel.